From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at Noon, streaming now.
Welcome in here to WRTV News at Noon. I'm Nicole Griffin in this afternoon for Lauren Casey, joined now by meteorologist Kyle Mounts. And Kyle, I was out on break. I had my puffer kind of thick jacket on. It's a little too warm for that right now.
Yeah, you don't need that at this point. This morning, yeah, it was chilly out there, but temperatures really taking off. We are now at 60 degrees in Indianapolis, thanks in part to that south wind between about 10 and 15 miles per hour. And we've seen a good deal of sunshine for us this morning. Just some of those high, thin clouds moving in so far. Temperature now at 61 in Bloomington, 56 in Tipton, and 60 already for you in the Connersville area. So temperatures today, I just increased them a little bit, but numbers jumped quite a bit in the last hour. So I think we will make it into the lower and possibly some middle 60s out there this afternoon. Our record high is 66 degrees set back in 1931. So we're not going to be too far away from that. There are the increasing clouds, though, which will kind of put a lid on some of that warming. Notice back to the west in western Illinois, that's where the rain sits for right now. And it will be moving in here later today and into tonight especially. Our rain chance only about 40% at 8 o'clock, but that goes up to almost a guarantee here through the overnight. We'll let you know how much wet weather's on the way in a few minutes.
Kyle, thank you. The newest coronavirus report is out from the state health department, and infection and death numbers remain high in the state. The number of new cases topped 7,000 once again today. It's the first time in almost a week they have been above that level. However, the state has seen at least 5,000 new cases every day since November 29th. The state is also reporting the deaths of 71 additional people with COVID-19. The rapid increase in the daily death rate began in mid-November. And the number of people being treated for COVID-19 in hospitals remains above 3,200, falling only slightly from yesterday. Tens of millions of people could face financial trouble soon as the chances of another COVID relief bill in Congress appear to be dwindling. It comes after Senate Leader Mitch McConnell and other Republicans say they will not go along with a bipartisan deal that would provide scaled-down help to some Americans. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze is in Washington now with the latest.
The prospect of a COVID relief deal is growing dimmer, and millions of Americans' livelihoods are at stake.
People are really suffering and going through a lot of hard troubles.
With households struggling to put food on the table, government aid keeping families afloat during this coronavirus pandemic is set to expire at the end of the month. The expiring benefits include expanded unemployment aid, a freeze on federal student loan payments, and a moratorium on evictions.
You ask for patience from your landlord.
But on Capitol Hill, too much patience and not enough compromise as lawmakers haggle over the details of another bill. House lawmakers heading home for the weekend after passing a one-week stopgap measure to keep the government funded and buy more time in the stimulus negotiations. Key sticking points remain another round of stimulus checks, liability protections for businesses, and financial aid to state and local governments. Senator Bernie Sanders making a demand Republicans have already shot down.
Any agreement in terms of a COVID-19 relief package must include not only strong unemployment benefits, but a $1,200 direct payment for the working families of this country.
Leaders from both parties blaming each other for the stalemate.
What Mr. McConnell is putting forth in terms of liability is such an assault on Americans' workers that I hope that the group goes nowhere near what he is presenting.
Day after day, the Democratic leader finds new reasons not to compromise, new ways to avoid taking yes for an answer.
The latest report from the Labor Department shows an additional 853,000 Americans filed new claims for unemployment benefits last week, bringing the total number of Americans receiving some form of jobless aid to more than 19 million. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
Elizabeth, thank you. The coronavirus's impact on education now. Marion County schools will be able to return to in-person learning earlier than planned. The county's public health director, Dr. Virginia Kane, made the announcement, and she says it's based on new guidelines from the CDC. Dr. Kane says students in 1st through 12th grades can return to the classroom on January 4th. That is a change from the original date of January 15th. Dr. Kane says the decision was made after data shows schools are not contributing to community spread of COVID-19. The CDC's also reduced the recommended time for quarantine from 14 days to between 7 and 10 days. Students and staff are still being asked to take extra precautions before that return date.
Any parent, any student, and teachers are recommended to avoid any unnecessary contact outside of their household at least 10 days prior to the January the 4th return. That is so critical.
Some school districts are already responding to the change. IPS says it does not anticipate changing their return date, while others like Perry Township will do so. We have much more on the change and the response from local school districts right now on our website, WRTV.com. New this midday, tomorrow is the 21st annual Bleed Blue Blood Drive at Lucas Oil Stadium. Varsity Blood Center teams up with the Colts for this event to get critically needed blood donations around the holidays. Varsity says they always see a decline in donations during this time of year. Masks and social distancing are required at tomorrow's event that runs from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m.
Blood that we're collecting really during these times when elective surgeries are being told to kind of scale back what they're doing. The blood that we're collecting is being used to help treat cancer patients and any trauma victims that have accidents that occur during this time. You know, giving blood is an easy way to give back and do some good for the community. And it takes about an hour of your time. It's relatively painless. I know a lot of people are nervous about needles, but if you just think about the patient that's on the receiving end of that blood and what they're going through, you know, it should maybe hopefully get you through that needle stick a little bit.
Walk-ins are welcome tomorrow, but leaders are encouraging people to make appointments ahead of time. This will help maintain COVID-19 precautions that are in place to keep everyone safe. Just go to versity.org/Indiana to sign up. Large and small local businesses are adapting to the pandemic by putting their businesses online. Sharp Guys Web Design is among the businesses that have seen a big boost in clients during the COVID-19 outbreak. Owner Cody Sharp says it's because a lot of mom and pop shops who did not have a big web presence before have been forced into investing into e-commerce in order to stay in business.
We've had a lot of opportunities for growth that I didn't expect when we started this year, and we really just want to help as many people as possible. We can't help everyone, but we've been trying to help even the people that we can't help directly. We're trying to just give an idea of, like, these are the small things you can do right now that will impact your business online, and so we try to just give people any kind of recommendations for those types of things.
Sharp Guys Web Design does offer free website analysis, so if you already have a business website but want to know how to get the most out of it, you can find their contact information inside this story right now at WRTV.com. They are joining the effort to overturn the election. Next, why 4 members of Congress from Indiana are jumping into a long-shot lawsuit at the U.S. Supreme Court. Kyle.
And it is our 3rd day in a row of some very mild air here across central Indiana. We're not quite finished with that warm up here in December thaw, but it is about to come to an abrupt end. We'll talk about the chill that returns for next week. You're watching WRTV News at Noon.
The Supreme Court could decide today whether to take up a bizarre lawsuit that seeks to overturn Joe Biden's win in the presidential election. The lawsuit from the Attorney General of Texas seeks to throw out all of the votes cast in 4 states that Biden won: Georgia, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. On Thursday, 4 Republican members of Congress from Indiana were among those who signed a brief supporting the lawsuit. They are Jackie Walorski from the 2nd District, Jim Banks from District 3, 4th District Congressman Jim Baird, and Trey Hollingsworth from the 9th District. They indicate they agree with the lawsuit's premise that votes in those 4 states should be wiped out because of allegations of voter fraud. However, no election fraud has been found in any state so far. The other 3 Republican House members from Indiana did not sign on to the lawsuit. They include 6th District Congressman Greg Pence, the brother of the vice president. She is working through her own grief to help others. Next, how she's bringing smiles to those who would otherwise be alone this holiday season. Let's take a live look outside on this Friday. It is a nice day, great day to get outside. Kyle will be back with another check of your forecast. You're watching the news at noon right here on WRTV. Welcome back. It's a season of joy, happiness, and celebration. But this year, for so many Hoosiers, it's also a time of sadness. Thousands will have a person missing from their holidays this year. Our ALYSSA Donovan shows us a Noblesville woman who decided that she would take her grief and turn it into something good.
Here at the Riverwalk Village Senior Living Facility, every single room has a window. And one local woman saw this as an opportunity to bring a little holiday joy to all of the residents who are stuck living inside.
Oh, they're little wood, but they're stars. So we can paint those. Oh my gosh, I haven't even seen all this stuff. There's a tree for a room.
Libby Sutherland's dining room is piled high with Christmas decorations.
Oh my gosh, look at this. I love the plaid. Oh, and it's that wonderful, wonderful stuff.
All donated to help her decorate the residents' rooms and outside their windows at Riverwalk Village Nursing Home.
The response was so overwhelming. People were beyond kind and generous.
Sutherland sent out a call to the community on Facebook.
A painting.
Wanting to bring some holiday spirit to the people who live at the home, a place that's near and dear to her heart.
Because my mom had been there.
Just a few months ago, the two had discussed Christmas plans.
We were talking about the Christmas cookies, so we talked about making those and what we were going to make for Christmas dinner.
But none of those traditions will include Mary Sutherland this year. The 88-year-old passed away in October, and her daughter is channeling her grief into something good.
Oh, this is so cute. And I got to tell you, I was feeling really down until I started this. Yay!
A strategy experts say may be one of the best ways to handle loss this holiday season.
One of the ways we honor our grief is by honoring that person with rituals or doing things that they would have liked us to do.
Which is exactly what Sutherland is doing, honoring her mother by giving back.
And I won't have her, but I can adopt 96 residents at Riverwalk Village and sing with them. And in their smiles, I'll see Mom.
I'm ALYSSA Donovan, WRTV.
LA Landscaping volunteered their time to hang up Christmas lights and to create a winter wonderland outside of the Noblesville nursing home. And a date is not yet set, but family members of residents and community members as well plan to do a night of caroling outside the windows at that home. I love that story, Kyle. Such a good story. Well, if you have to still decorate outside of your own home, today is a good day to get outside.
Yeah, you could decorate or do some caroling. You know, it's not too often in December where you say, I can't wait to get outside, but there's always that exception to the rule, and today is one of those. We've got temperatures around 60 degrees right now in Indy, Bloomington, Shelbyville, and Muncie. And Kokomo, I think you'll get there or very close. Right now you sit at 55 degrees. There's that south breeze around 10 to 15 miles per hour, which is bringing in that mild air ahead of our next weather system. So as we go through the next several hours here, we'll keep those temperatures in the lower to middle 60s, and still not bad even as we get to 6 o'clock this evening. With that sun starting to set, we've got temperatures that are still in the middle 50s for you. And tonight we'll only drop back to around 50 degrees in Indy, 52 in Columbus, keeping in mind our average high for this time of year is 40 degrees. So we won't even be that cool through the overnight. What we are going to see is a trade-off here. We are going to bring in some rain chances. I think we're pretty dry here through the early evening. By 9 o'clock this evening, you start to see some of that rain moving in areas like Rockville into Greencastle, Veedersburg as well. And then it will continue to fill in, reaching the Indianapolis area around midnight. Same for you in Anderson and Muncie. And then as we get into tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., fairly widespread rain, maybe even a rumble of thunder or two, although we're not anticipating any severe weather that will roll through the area. As we get toward middle of the day tomorrow, it's a pretty quick moving system. Looks like we'll already be tapering off to just a couple of isolated showers for tomorrow afternoon, and we'll keep those clouds in place for us. Rainfall potential here looks like areas southeastern portion of the state will get around 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch of rain. Then it gets a little bit higher as we work our way to the north and west. About 3/4 of an inch of rain possible here. Temperature-wise, we start off again on the mild side, and we'll get into the 50s one more day here as we go into our Saturday. But then you notice into the afternoon, those numbers do start to fall off a little bit. We're into the 40s by 4 o'clock. and it's going to be a windy day with that rain and those temperatures. We've got winds that'll gust between about 30 and 40 miles per hour, especially in the morning. And as we go into the afternoon, still going to have those wind gusts around 30 miles per hour. But you notice through about 5 o'clock, it's a southwesterly direction. Then those winds are going to turn out of the northwest, and that's what brings the changes for the rest of the 7-day planning forecast. Let's put it all together for you now. 62 today, 56 on Saturday, and then just 40. That's the best we'll do for a high on Sunday, but that's average. As we go into next week, actually a little cool for this time of year with highs in the 30s. So, Nicole, you're going to need that puffer coat once again.
All right, Kyle, thank you. I'll keep it handy. With a deal on new COVID relief still up in the air, it means a number of Hoosiers could face a dire situation with their housing at the beginning of the new year. WRTV is already hearing from viewers facing issues with a landlord or property management company. WRTV's Cornelius HOCKER is getting answers for 2 women who reached out to us for help.
Haley Miller-Rush got quite the surprise at the beginning of this week.
So I woke up and I went to go to work, and when I came outside, my car was gone.
Haley soon found out her car had been towed by her apartment complex, and she didn't understand why. She pays rent on time every month, and that includes parking.
I pay to park where I live, and I have proof that I've paid, and they still towed my car in.
Now, she's out $150 and isn't sure what to do next. Michelle Tackett is in an even more dire situation.
8 days before they were going to close the building down, they said, well, y'all got to leave. And I'm like, wait a minute, we don't have no place to go right now. They're like, well, no, you got to leave.
Leading up to being evicted from her apartment, she says her landlord tried to force her out by making her time there miserable.
It starts getting hot, and they would not turn on the air conditioner in our room. And it got to the point where I was having seizures.
Michelle has several videos showing what she says her landlord did, turning off the electricity, the water. And though these situations are different, Brandon Beeler with Indiana Legal Services says both of the women could take their problems to small claims court.
In Indiana, you can see a tenant, or I guess anyone who files a claim, can seek up to $8,000 of damages.
But you have to be prepared to show proof of your losses, according to Brandon.
As you prepare for the case, just document as closely as you can with as much proof as you can what losses you incurred.
That's why Brandon says it's important to document everything if you are in a tenant-landlord dispute, whether it's videos like Michelle took or payment records like Haley has. Mark?
All right, Cornelius, thank you so much. Well, if you need help with a situation like this, you can apply on Indiana Legal Services website. We do have a link posted to their intake application in this story on our website, WRTV.com. Tonight is a big night for us here at WRTV. We'll show you how you can come watch a special treat and give to our annual toy drive. It's one big last boost that's only happening tonight. You're watching the news at noon right here on WRTV. Tonight is the big night. Our own Amanda Starantino will be hitting the ice with Nitro during the Indy Fuel home opener. If you're heading to the game, be sure to bring a new unwrapped stuffed animal. And tonight is the teddy bear toss night to benefit the WRTV toy drive. Take a look at Amanda go. She's doing wonderful. Well, the teddy bear toss will look a little different this year for COVID-19 safety reasons. You can toss stuffed animals into bins in the lobby instead of onto the ice. And a reminder, today is the last day to donate to our toy drive. If you're not going to the game, just go to WRTV.com/toy drive to find out how you can help. Kyle.
And as we go into the day tomorrow, maybe you've got some shopping you need to do. You're going to need to do it with some rain gear out there. Maybe not the umbrella because it is going to be a windy day. But I think as we go into our Saturday afternoon, things will start to dry out for us just a little bit. But it's going to be breezy, and then the temperatures fall from 56 on Saturday to just 40 by Sunday.
All right, Kyle, thank you. And thank you so much for joining us. Join us back here tonight at 5 o'clock. Have a great afternoon.